about that time. You know what time it is? Yeah, we back at it. Welcome back, SS family. And please, you ain't gotta tell me. I know what I look like right now. And when I tell you, y'all, I am exhausted, so tired. But I knew I couldn't go to sleep without recording this episode because I'm gonna have such a busy weekend ahead. I was like, if I don't make this video today, it's not coming out tomorrow. Simply can't. So, welcome back, my loves. You can't really see the full setup because of how the phone is right now, but we have another get ready with me today. Because honestly, I'm so obsessed with my bass routine now. It would be a crime to not share, because come on now, all the girlies have to get right, period. But yeah, today something cool. Excuse me. Y'all see, it's late. It's like almost 11 o'clock. Oh my goodness, y'all. I really love y'all for real. But no, today we're gonna have like a little story time, and we're also gonna talk a little bit about financial literacy. Not too much today, just to really start introducing like the base concepts. So when I do start going in depth, you guys will be comfortable with the jargon or the words that I use to describe certain concepts. But yeah, let's get into it. Today we're going to start off with, I like to moisturize my face first. You see the natural glow. And to be honest, you guys, I'll be having like setting spray usually. Most of the stuff is drugstore stuff that you can find at Walmart or something. Because really, it's all about your technique. Obviously, I like to buy a little bit more high-end when it comes to like products as far as setting powders and stuff. Just because that is what gets the face, sitting for the whole day. But yeah, I usually have a decent setting spray, but usually, really, y'all, the makeup companies might hate me for this, but I've just been refilling this with water. Because I don't wear makeup I'm trying to wear makeup a little bit more now just to experiment, but I don't really wear makeup like that. So it's like, it's never really been like a big thing for me to be restocking. So when I find myself a little low, I just refill this bad boy with water and it does the trick. I ain't mad. But yeah, we're gonna start. I already moisturized my face. I'm gonna go in with this primer I got from my mom, the Mary Kay powder. If y'all can see that, this one has SPF in it too. Obviously, it's nighttime, and I don't really plan on going anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. But maybe nah. Because if I was gonna say maybe I'll take myself out to like a bar or something or get a couple drinks, but really, no. One, I'm exhausted, and if I can't finish editing this video tonight, I'm not gonna go for drinks. Responsibilities, y'all. Cannot be no pleasure without hard work, because then you're just gratifying yourself for doing nothing. And that actually is like a really bad mentality to develop, because it's like instant gratification. That's the world that we live in right now with social media. Everybody wants things now. But in reality, if you get yourself too accustomed to wanting things when you want it, that is not the recipe for anything, for real. Like, you hear all the time, fast money don't make money. The quicker you get things, even quicker you can lose them. That's why it's like, really take your time. You do, especially when it comes to like money and financial literacy and just like learning how to manage your money so that we're not losing it the same ways that we saw our family before us lose it, because no one taught them. Unfortunately, our education system fails us majorly, especially when it comes to financial literacy. And that is to keep us at a certain level so that, yes, we are sustained, but only sustained enough to the point where we have to come back to a certain group to help us. You know what I'm saying? But that's we're gonna get into that. I'm kind of debating if I want to do a story time first since I'm doing my makeup. But maybe halfway through, since I already have my notes, whatchamacallit? Honestly, I think I'm doing story time first. Because the story is very juicy, you know what I'm saying? And it's a part of it too, with like owning a business. Like, you have to be able to handle situations with customers regardless of the situation. Like, you have to be able to carry yourself in a professional manner if you want to be a professional. Too many people want to be offering services but then think that they can react any type of way. And you know what? You are well within your rights if you know you bust your ass every day, because I know what that feels like. Don't let anybody try to play with you. But it's how you handle those situations will not only affect your reputation with your future clientele, but also just help you develop a mindset of how to handle future situations so you don't have to keep running into that. You feel what I'm saying? Because there will be times where you have to face discrepancies. Like, everybody isn't all sweet sugar and spice. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we live in a world like where people aren't understanding. And that's why, like, I've always done my best. Oh, I'm also going in right now with the Maybelline Fit Me loose finishing powder. I like to use a very light brush, like powder brush, and just put a little bit all over my face after I prime. And then I set it again with my setting spray, aka water. But I don't wear foundation, so this is like my base. And even if I were wearing foundation, I would still do this because it really just sets your face and helps your makeup last all night. Like, all day. My friends be so surprised. We be going out, we coming back, my makeup's still perfect. You know what I'm saying? Not perfect, but damn near. I could go out with the same beat. You feel what I'm saying? But that's why I say it's really all in your technique. But back to what I was saying. You have to be able to handle any situation thrown at you. And that's not to say you can prepare yourself for every situation, but you have to be able to not react the same way every single time. Like, you cannot be hot-tempered if you want to run a successful business. You have to be able to assess the situation. If there is accountability to be held on your part, you have to be able to take that. And even regardless, sometimes it's good to just like not let people walk all over you, but be understanding. Like, a lot of situations blow up so quickly from a lack of understanding each other. So certain people, obviously, they're upset sometimes. They might say things in a way that can feel disrespectful. But oftentimes, it's usually because people feel like they've been disrespected. So you have to obviously, there's a certain lines that will not be crossed. But you have to understand, at least in the beginning of the situation, you have to try and de-escalate as much as possible, because a lot of situations can be handled so simply if like communication is just there. If communication is just there on both parts, right? But that's something that first, because you are the provider of the service, that's something that first has to be brought into the situation by you. You have to have a handle on the situation because this is someone that's come to you, or whatever the case may be. You're providing a service for them. You're working for them. You're serving them in a way. But at the same time, they called for your services, so they have to respect you and respect what you're doing, because if not, why are you calling my phone? Babe, why are you calling my phone? You feel what I'm saying? And it's crazy because it's not always new people. Oh yeah, I'm using my Morphe palette, the 39A. I use one of like the rosy colors for my blush when I'm like first doing my base. I'm putting on again afterwards, but it's just so warm. Yeah. And sometimes more often than not, I try to keep it high on the cheekbone to like really lift my face. And I bring it under my eye a little bit because I know it's gonna be covered by the concealer anyways, but give it like that warm, rounding, high cheekbone effect. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So right. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Because as I said, like, it won't always be strangers. This situation, this was a girl that basically worked for me, y'all. This girl was basically my brand ambassador for, I think, almost a year. A year. This girl knew me throughout high school. Like, this girl knew me since, like, freshman year. And I'll probably be, like, trying to describe the situation a lot. So I'm gonna just, call her by her high school nickname, Horses, or something close to that. And if you know what I'm talking about, cool. But she's not getting no free clout from me. She ain't get no free clout from me when the situation happened, and she's not gonna get no free clout now. Whew, hell no. Because why? I've leveled up. Because honestly, guys, sometimes that's why it's not always great to handle a situation the same way someone's trying to handle you. Because a lot of those times, those people are just envious of the things that you can do that they can't. That you are actually putting forth the effort to change your situation and to be something greater than what they allow their limiting beliefs to keep them at. And that's just a fact. Because I promise you now, I don't keep up with that girl since that situation happened. I forgot she exists. Like, I was about to take her to court, but I was like, I literally made, mind you, y'all, over a $200 bill, almost $300. I made that back the next week for the exact same style. Had no issues with that lady. Surprise. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm gonna really get into it though. And I'm gonna put the receipts. I'm gonna put the receipts, best believe. But I put a little bit on my nose too. But yeah, so this was the situation. This girl had literally, I know her all throughout high school. This situation was probably like last year, I think. Yeah, I think it was like last year. It was right before, yeah, it was like last year. This girl had been coming to me for years, y'all. And even with the hair that she's talking about, if you know who I'm talking about, if you scroll on my business page, you'll see herself dancing, happy as shit about her hair on my page, still to this day. But she wanted to try this BS with me. Let's get into it. So, right, mind you, this girl had been coming to me for years. Me and her tried new hairstyles, all that. And of course, when, you know, I'm not really proclaiming myself to be the professional that I really was, like, it's easy to just be like, oh, okay, da-da-da-da. You know, when the prices are low, when everything's convenient, it's real cool, real calm, right? Everything's real calm. But as soon as things start shifting, you start seeing like, oh, she's not the same price. I probably can't do the same shit. That's when stuff gets icky. But let's get into it. And this is my opal. Look at this, y'all. It is gone. It's God. But it's my contour. So what I do with this is, I just put up high up on my cheekbones because I like to give a very soft effect. I don't really like the thought of the clean girl aesthetic. I just think it's a weird thing to label, but whatever. I just put high on my cheekbones and then I bring it down right there just to give me that snatched effect, like the buccal, I believe, the buccal fat remover effect or whatever. Yeah, people getting surgery when you can just put a couple dots on your face. That's crazy in me. People get surgery for anything nowadays. But, you know. That's not what I'm talking about, though. But, yeah, y'all. I'm telling you. This girl was coming to me for years. Posting my shit. Was my brand ambassador. You know, at the time when everybody's doing brand ambassadors, like, they posting your stuff. You know, they referring people. I still have loyal clients that she's referred to me to this day. To this day, y'all. Never had an issue with them. But she ruined such a fruitful relationship over some shit that could have been fixed the next day. But instead of just letting me fix it, mind you, her hair is already damaged, and she was saying that over and over before her appointment even started. And still wanted to get an extra ass style when her hair couldn't take it. And it's like, that's another thing, like, people aren't educated enough with their own hair. And that's why I don't get too upset about certain situations, is because people don't understand the effect that your hair has in your hairstyle. At the end of the day, it is a protective style to protect your hair. And if you haven't been taking care of your hair, It's not just gonna magically fix that. This girl's ends were holding on for dear life.
Help me, help me.
All right. And it doesn't help that the parts that were coming out were from the bleached hair that was already dying. And mind you, I offered, right? Let's go back. So, mind you, already from the jump, I was being lenient. Too lenient. And I had to learn the hard way, y'all. I had to learn the hard way. I was being way too lenient because I let this girl, she didn't even pay her full deposit. She paid a $10 deposit. My deposit time was $20 fee. She paid $10. So out of the whole probably like $300 appointment, she paid $10. I didn't even press her for the deposit fee, right? Okay, boom. She's saying she wants to get her hair done the next day. It was like a last minute appointment. So she was saying she wanted to get her hair done the next day, which was Thursday, but she didn't get paid till Friday. So I was like, okay, I'm trusting this girl because she's been coming to me for a break. Like, I'm thinking, okay, cool, everything's cool, like, business as usual. All right, I do the girl's hair. Mind you, she's going on and on about how her hair is so damaged. Mind you, one time for this girl's birthday, bro, and me and her weren't even, like, close, but she was my brand ambassador. So, like, obviously, if you're working for me, I consider you, like, not family, but along those lines. I drove over an hour to Maryland because her stylist, whoever stylist that she was going to up there, while she's at school, bounced on her last minute. And me being the good-hearted person I am, didn't even charge her as much as I should have, and drove up there the same day or the next day to do her hair. And I'm gonna post the hair I did too. Cause yeah, you did to yourself, babe. Like all those ill ass, but it's fine. Back to the story. So right, like I have really gone beyond over whatever the term is for this girl. And so I'm thinking, okay, we've built a stable like business relationship, cool. So I'm like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. She's just gonna pay me the next day. The next day comes. One day later. Where's my money? All of a sudden, I'm gonna read exactly. Their total was $245. And that's not even including the other half of the deposit that she owed me. Total was $245. This girl's talking about I guess it was supposed to be a new job. She said, my deposit didn't go through. I'm like, your deposit didn't go through. But I'm just like, okay, whatever. She's saying, just not giving me an estimated time as of when it's, mind you, it's a Friday. So I'm like, okay, if her deposit didn't go through today, then she should have the money by Monday. Right? Monday comes. Where is it? First off, she texted me. She's like, I think it was that Saturday, right? So like a couple days later, she's like, Carol, I don't want you to think I'm running off because I'm not. My direct deposit got messed up and that's it. Mind you, I'm not really caring. Like, I'm just like, I'm not pressing her for the money. I haven't asked her anything. She's over here sending me all this, like her bank statements and shit, trying to prove shit. I'm just like, bro, I have not bothered you about this bread. They didn't say anything rude, nothing. I was just like, okay, send it to me when you get it. Sunday comes around. I didn't respond to her that Saturday because I didn't care. I was just like, okay, cool. Next day, Sunday, I'm like, okay, any update? She's like, still waiting on my check. My office don't open till Monday. Monday comes. Okay, any update? Same thing I said. No change of tone, nothing. Cool. Girl doesn't respond for an hour. I'm like, okay, maybe she's working. I'm blowing up her shit. Hello? Horses? I'm trying to be cool because you good peoples, but the whole not answering shit is looking funny. The girl doesn't say anything that entire day. And that's how I know. Next thing, she's talking about the next day, Tuesday, she's talking about I was asleep. I'm just now waking up from work. Weird. Oh yeah, this is my LA Pro Girl concealer. I think this is in color chestnut. But yeah, I'm just about to put that before I forget, because I'm going to let my face sit while that's crazy to think I could even try and do that from the But yeah, I just put it right here, right under my eyes, right in the corners, and I just bring it along my nose like that. And I bring up a little bit just to lift up my face, like the same effect that the blush has. And I just do the same thing on the other side. Yeah. And honestly, y'all, less is more. When it comes to makeup, less really is more. That's why it's so important to take care of your skin. Because really, in my opinion, some of the most beautiful looks look like your own skin, but just highlighted, right? So it's like just embracing your inner beauty, or the beauty that's already there. So I'm gonna set that again. Okay, boom. Back to the story. And she's like, girl, I was asleep. I'm just now waking up from work. And I'm like, any update? She says, yeah, they're waiting for my money to come back so they can send it out. And people be thinking I'm stupid because I don't say stuff, bro. Because let this make sense. If the deposit never went through, why would they have to wait for the money to go back? Just send it back. If it makes sense to y'all, then okay. Then okay. But why would... And then she's like, so I was like, ETA? And she's like, huh? Like, are you dumb? You want to play dumb? And that's what pisses me off when people try and insult my intelligence. Because I'm a very kind, considerate person. And people allow that to make them believe that I'm naive. Let's be so for real. Let's be so for real. Because anyone that knows me for real knows I work very hard to educate myself. Because y'all be thinking a bitch is dumb, and that's never the case. Yeah, never the case. Anyways, boom. She's like, huh? Trying to play dumb. And I was like, when will it be taken care of? And she says, I don't know. They said none can be done until Navy Federal refunds the money, but they said sometime this week, probably. It's just getting very shifty. And I need y'all to remember that she said, still waiting for my check on Sunday. She didn't say any problems. All the way down to Tuesday, she didn't say anything. Any issues, nothing, right? And that's what? From the day that I did her hair, which was Thursday to Sunday is how many days, y'all? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 days. Remember that. Not even Sunday. Sunday, Tuesday, or Monday, Tuesday. That's 6 days. It's almost a week. That's almost a week at this point. And I don't want you to remember it just because it's almost a week, but because of the bullshit that she tries to play me with. Okay, boom. Let's see, where were we at Tuesdays? She was like, you'll get them. Then she wanted to be rude. Had the audacity to be rude. That's what got me. So I was like, mind you, I'm just asking innocently because I'm just like, nigga, it's been over a week. You owe me over $200. Like, is there any... I didn't say it like that. I was just like, and there's no other way for you to get the funds? Politely, if I might add. She's talking about you will get the money when I get the money. The audacity! You didn't get to me! And you try to act, show out? Okay. And she was like, and Max, nah, I don't have mommy and daddy to give me money. Mind you, me, oh God, me, I have built my businesses with my own 2 hands and feet, with my blood, sweat, and tears. Ain't nobody ever give me shit to build my empire, okay? I have built this, obviously with the support of people around me, but as far as my businesses, I built that myself. Blood, sweat, tears, all that. So for her to insinuate that I got other people give me money, mind you, why are you even mentioning that mommy and daddy give me money? And mind you, at this point, I'm still not being rude, because I'm just like, I just want my money at this point. I don't even care. I was like, understandable, but neither do I. This is literally my job, and I've already provided the service, but keep me posted. Okay, boom. And she was like, all right, I got you, period. I was like, yeah, because you know you sound fucking stupid. Sorry, y'all, but what? I've been holding this in for a while because I haven't talked about this situation. This was like a year ago. I haven't talked about this situation since it happened because I really don't care. She's still broke. That's embarrassing. I got that money back the next week. And not only did I do that, but I actually got all the money that I have built off my back is why I'm here where I'm at today. And where's she at? Alright. And there's nothing wrong with that. But don't be throwing stuff in people's face knowing damn well your situation. You look stupid. But let's continue. She was like, okay, Friday, July 22nd. This was over a week now. A whole week. A whole week since I did her makeup or did her hair. She's talking about some, hey girl, I just want to let you know my money is still being processed, and as well, I want to let you know about 3 soft locks have fallen out since I've gotten them done. The first time was 2 days after I got them, then now 2 just fell out. Mind you, remember how I told you guys, all the way till the next week? Mind you, she said it's 2 days after she was contacting me. We were in contact that day that she's talking about. That Saturday, she was literally talking to me. So why didn't you mention that when you were still in the area for me to fix them? Right? That's what got me confused, because I was like, now I'm starting to think, I'm like, nah, this is low-key on some plot and shit. Not like the hair didn't have an issue. Because they are soft locks, as I said. And that's another thing with hair. Like, you have to be able to learn, you have to know how to maintain your hair. With soft locks, I wrap my hair all the way to the end. Okay? Just saying, because I know a lot of stylists just wrap it halfway and keep it pushing. I wrap my hair all the way to the end. That's a lot of time. That's a whole extra, that's doubling the time of the appointment, bro. So I'm doing all this extra work. You have to be able to maintain your own hair. This is soft locks. This is literally soft hair wrapped around soft hair. You cannot be pulling it any which way, especially when your hair itself is already messed up. Because you messed it up, your bleach, dye, damaged ass hair. Oh guys, no, my business. But she trying to tell me 2 days after. Mind you, I was like, and all the 3 strands that she was talking about, they were all, I'm gonna insert the clips. They were all the blonde pieces. Every single one of them were from the blonde pieces of her hair. So I'm like, well, you were already saying for the appointment that your hair was mad damaged. Obviously, if you're not, and she still has it in the ponytail, right? Like, I'm sure she's taking it down, put it up, because I saw videos of it up and down. If you are pulling on the hair that is wrapped around with soft hair, and you're not careful how you pull it out, obviously if you pull it, it is going to extend the lock. And if you pull it too much, it's gonna, with soft locks, you braid the hair and you braid the crochet lock, whatever, at the end. So obviously, if you're pulling on the hair too much and your ends are damaged, it's going to be a lot easier for them to pull off, because, mind you, it didn't pull all the way off, obviously, because it was still wrapped at the top. That's why I was so confused. It took me a second to understand it, but I was like, bro, it's because you weren't careful with your damaged ass ends, bro. And even with all that, me knowing that, I was just like, I wasn't even trying to be a dickhead about the situation. I was actually trying to help shorty free of charge. I be too nice to folks. She taught me a valuable lesson, I promise you. And I was like, that's weird, because I haven't had that issue, and you didn't mention it when we talked Tuesday, but if you have time next week, I don't mind fixing it. And did they give you an ETA? That's all I said. Now this girl wants to start. She was like, I didn't mention it because no money was ever processed, and I thought, oh, it's just one. And at the end of the day, this isn't the first time I ever had issues with your hair, and that's when she starts going. And I was like, now it came from, oh, I didn't want to get the hair fixed, to this isn't the first time. Let me continue. And then she says, I don't really want it fixed, honestly. And they said they're waiting for it to come. And now that's when things start clicking in my head. All of a sudden, she doesn't want to get fixed. Why? Because she doesn't want to pay the full payment. And all of a sudden, they're still waiting. No money has been processed, but it's still waiting for a job that you're working at, that you're clocking in for. Still waiting. And all of a sudden, you don't want to pay. You don't want to get the hair fixed anymore. But it's only a couple. But you don't want to get fixed free of charge. Okay. And I was like, for future reference, just to avoid issues, just let me know. Mind you, me being my professional, kind self, still don't tweak about it. I'm trying to be understanding. I'm like, for future reference, just to avoid issues, just let me know as soon as it happens, because free repairs and stuff are only offered 48 hours after the appointment. After that, it's a maintenance thing, and that's fine and all, but it's not like it's your real hair. Obviously, I do it to my best ability, but there's still always a chance that something can happen, and that's why proper communication is required. But let me know when they give you an estimate. Professional! And this deterrent wants to go open her blasted mouth, talking about, I don't want it fixed. I'm just letting you know that you did a messy job on it. Messy! And you know what? For that one, you even remembering it, I'm gonna put the video of her stupid self dancing on my Instagram.
Fuck you, pay me. It take more than a Bentley to pay. Got me fucked up.
Since it was so messy, I want y'all to tell me how messy this hair is. And she's like, even you came out your mouth and said you was rushing on my hair. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? Nobody was rushing on your hair. I just wanted to get the fuck because I wasn't supposed to be there anymore. And the only reason I was staying was because of you. I overextended the time that I was supposed to be at my crib for you. So obviously I didn't want to be there that long, or longer than I had to be. And she knew very well that me and her take breaks all the time. That's what I meant by that. I didn't want us taking breaks, because more often than not, we would take a smoke break, we would take a food break, and then the appointment would extend by like 4 hours. That's literally all I meant by that. But she wanted to start twisting and turning things because she doesn't want to pay what she broke. Anyways. And then I'm like, I did a messy job. Mind you, I'm still not being rude. That's the thing that's getting me, because I just want my money. She was like, I was like, I did a messy job. I'm not going to act like my work is always perfect, but you didn't have any issues with your hair at the time. And then she wanted to backtrack, talking about some Carol, I'm not coming at you. But you said I did a messy job? So which one is it? You know? But, you know. Let's see what else the peasant says. I was like, and I responded, I was like, as I can see, the ones that fell off are from the bleached hairs, which you did admit were damaged from chemical. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that had a part to play. I understand that, but it's just the wording. And she was like the soft locks that you crochet in my hair fell out in 3 different ones. My braid has no soft lock attached. I was like, they're braided in. That's how all of them are applied, dummy. But I'm sorry for the inconvenience because I take a lot of pride in my work, but I can also understand this is obviously an inconvenience to you also, however it happened. So I was like, but just contact me when they let you know. And mind you, she keeps talking about da-da-da-da. I'm just like, bro, if you had just let me, mind you, at this point, it's not my fault, bro. Not because of anything about the hair process, but because I have offered this girl, bro, numerous times for me to come and fix her hair. If there was anything else wrong, I could have assessed that and fixed it at that time. But because she decided, mind you, she decided she straight out her horse ass mouth that she didn't want to get anything fixed. So how at this point does that have anything to do with me? If you didn't want to get your hair fixed, then how are you going to continue to complain when you still haven't paid for said hair? Like, you bugging. You're bugging. And I hope wherever you are, you've gained some common sense to understand that what you did was messed up. And on top of that, you want to go spread my name around. That's embarrassing. Because look at me now. I have even more supporters now. Like, that is so embarrassing. Like, people will really try for the smallest situations. Like, this could have been settled so differently, bro. This could have been settled so differently, and we could have still been cool. I could have still been doing her hair, whatever the case may be, because I'm not the type to hold a grudge. Everyone knows I'm a very cool person. Just don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me. Don't try to act like I'm dumb. Because a lot of times people think just because I'm cool, I'm considerate, I'm kind, it's because I've seen a lot of dark stuff in my life. I understand how hard life can be for people sometimes. That's why I try, especially with my services, bro. My services are literally a lifeline for some people. Like, people go to get their hair done, like, as a form of therapy. Like, I don't play when it comes to my work because it is another form of healing that I try to help communities with. Like, I'm even trying to get with working with different charities and organizations. And it's just like, you don't even, another thing with that, like, I have big plans for my life, and you're trying to talk bad about me for a situation that you know you had a part to play in. Because why? Because you don't want to pay a little 200 something? That's embarrassing. You're willing to play with someone's livelihood, bro. My businesses are my livelihood. You're willing to play with someone's livelihood because you're broke and you're spending money on things you can't afford. That's embarrassing. It is not okay to mess with anyone's livelihood, regardless of, like, how you feel about it. Like, nah, bro. And it's like, at this point, I'm just like, I'm cool off it. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And she's like, girl, today makes a week since I've had my hair done. My hair should be unraveling or messed up after 1 week of me having it done. The crochet hair is sticking out in the middle of my locks. It doesn't make sense that my hair looks the way it do. So now it's just like she's just piling this shit on. Mind you, please don't forget, I have offered this girl my services even though it was after the 48-hour period that I explained to her. So I'm just like, bro, at this point, you're literally just trying to make it seem like the hair is so messed up that you shouldn't pay for it. I'm not stupid. Like, what? But anyways, I was just like, okay, I definitely get that, but it seems like you want me to take responsibility for something that is not my fault. You said yourself that your hair is mad damaged, and that's the only thing I can assume would impact it compared to your previous appointments. All the locks are braided in, which means the only way the hair is falling out is because your natural hair is too weak to hold it because it's coming from the ends. That's why I offered to fix them for you, because the blame does not fall on my technique nor the products used. I use the same products and technique for everyone. So obviously, if only one person is coming to me with an issue, especially someone who is already a week overdue with payment, that's the only thing I can feel obliged to offer. This girl doesn't say anything. What is it? I think like a day later. No, the whole weekend goes by. This girl never responds, bro. The whole weekend goes by. This girl never responds. So Monday comes. I'm like, Horace. At this point, it has been almost 2 weeks. Like, this is ridiculous. And she's like, it's been a week. I got my hair done on Friday last weekend. She obviously can't count because it's been almost 2 weeks. I did her hair. That's besides the point, regardless. This girl is literally overpaid for bricks. And now she's trying to make it like at this point, I just feel like I'm being disrespected because it's no longer even about the hair. It's like she's trying to demean everything that I've done at this point. Like, what, bro? Like, oh, I'm just using a brush to blend this out because I've been talking a lot. I'm like, what, bro? Like, you've been coming to me since what? Since we were like sophomores in high school? I'm out of high school now. This is what, last year? This was like 2 years out of high school. You've been coming to me for a cool 3 years now, at the very least. So I'm like, wow. And that taught me a lot, because it's just like, bruh, it can be anyone. Trusting people in this world, it's like, you have to be very careful, because people can switch like that. That's why I don't like take things personal. At this point, if I know that it's not my fault, if I know that I've done everything that I possibly can, and this is something to note as a future business owner, if that's something you're interested in. Once you do all you can, it's all that you can. Some people just feel like it's their right to take advantage of other people, and that is not okay at all. It's not okay, and honestly, it sucks. And if you honestly feel like at a certain point, like, it's worth taking to court, take it to court. Because I was about to take this little trick to court too. I really was. Like, she's really over here trying to demean my work. Like, that is ridiculous. She's going about whatever, and I was like, you're serious right now? The same amount of money I charge everyone else that has no issues, you having issues, mind you, 7 hours. She even said out her dirty mouth. Girl, 7 hours for what though? For them to fall out 2 days after? 7 hours, bro. I did her hair for 7 hours. 7 hours. This girl is and so I was like, you're serious right now? The same amount of money I charge everyone else to have no issues, you having issues does not fall on me. And I've explained why already. At the very least, $180 needs to be covered, because the money I pay for the hair is almost half the price. Mind you, soft locks. Literally, it's like $10 a pack. And she had belt length small. That's a cool five packs. That's like $50, $60. That's not including the products. That's another $10, $15. Because it takes almost half my gel for that type of style. And I was like, really, I shouldn't be accepting anything less than the price, but I'm not about to keep going back and forth with you, because it's obvious what the real issue is. Just get my 180 to me by the end of the week. I'm not going to be dragging this. Because at this point, I'm like, girl, you're just slowing up my money. Like, one, I don't need nothing that you got in your dusty, dirty pockets. That's probably the same amount since I last talked to you. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I just, at that point, I was just tired, bro. I was really just so tired. I was like, this can't be real life. This can't be real life. Like, this girl is not doing this to me right now. She's not. I was like, there's no way, bro. There's no way. I'm over here thinking, not like we were besties or anything like that, but damn. Even a little modicum of respect for being on my feet for 7 hours. Crazy. I'm about to put a little more. It's the wrong one. And then she starts, and this is how I knew she was talking about me, y'all. The little goofy told on herself. She was like, and honestly, I've been talking to other people who have also got their hair done by you in the past, and they all say that you do sloppy work and that none of this is new. Oh, God! Okay. Check the resume, though. Y'all are free to go on my page. Y'all are free to go on my page and compare the BS she's saying to my work. Because we all know. Even back then, I'm not going to act like I was always this top-tier stylist. It takes time. But I know any issues that I had, maybe max 1 or 2, I dealt with them in that time span, and I, like at the appointment or right after the appointment, and we've been cool, had no issues. So one, she's just talking out the ass now, and probably just bring her little friends around, but it doesn't matter. Whatever happened, doesn't matter. Anyways, she's like, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but if you don't really know how to do a style for real, then maybe you should keep practicing on it, and then try it for real, because you was looking out doing my hair, and I was even gonna bless you with 300. See how the girl just lies? Just lies? She's talking about something she was gonna bless me with 300. Bro. 300, but you can't even pull out 245. Right. Okay. The brokest people are always the loudest, y'all. I'm telling you. So I literally just responded to her. I was like, you are actually hilarious. And I was like, as I said before. And I just like replied to the message that I said. And I was like, about how she needs to send me my 180 at the end of the week. And I was like, and just to be clear, I'm not the little girls you think you can lie and play games with, horse. My money at the end of the week. You can pay up front or you can pay in court. Either way, make sure I'm paid. Because I was really just ready to take her to court at this point. I was like, this is literally ridiculous. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? And she was like, that's fine. We can pay at court. So I just laughed at the message, or I liked it, whatever. I was like, all I need to hear. Because me, I have no problem taking a bitch to court. I don't. I really don't. Because one, you didn't even pay your full deposit. And I literally have the text messages to prove, like, small claims court, she obviously was not intelligent. Who knows if she is now? But that's besides the point. Because she was talking about bringing witnesses to small claims court. You can't even have witnesses in small claims court. It was under $500. And witnesses for what? Nobody else outside of me and you were included in the booking process. This isn't opinions court. This is the law. You agree to an arrangement. You follow through with said arrangement, especially if you apply a deposit towards said arrangement. And that's where I was just like, and after that, I was just like, this girl is dumb. I can't change that. All I can do is thank God that I'm not a dumbass. You know? Because at the end of the day, she's going to continue to be who she chooses to be. So, like, I was going to take her to court, but I was like, bruh, it's $200. I got that money back. I literally had someone book for the same appointment the next day. That's why I was like, bruh, God got me. I'm not even worried about that. Karma's going to handle you. And you know what? Wherever she is, I hope she had her fun. Because I know she's sick watching me now. So, you know, to each their own. To each their own. Oh yeah, I'm about to do my brows with my Morphe two-sided gel. It was like $12, y'all. This was not expensive. And it's lasted me a while. Honestly, I've had it for like a couple months now. I don't really use it as often because I do like to switch back between powder and like pencil. But yeah, that's the moral of that story is, y'all, don't let people play with you, but also it's not always worth it. Cause me taking her to court, like that could really, cause what she says about me doesn't matter, because my work ethic and my supporters are enough proof of that I am who I say I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that other stuff does not mean anything to me. Me taking her to court would have just made the situation more public than it needed to be, and just taking it to a whole nother level when it's not necessary. You know what I'm saying? She's going to continue to be who she is at the end of the day. Like, sometimes it is that serious, because you can't allow people to think like they can play with you. And that taught me, I literally, before that girl did that stuff, I used to take like split payments. You follow what I'm saying? Like, the split payments. Like, I used to do payments, and because I'm telling you, I'm a very considerate person. Like, I understand, like, I'm still coming up, I've still got to pay my dues, and people are going through stuff. Like, if I'm going to get my money regardless, it doesn't matter to me if I get half this week and half the next week. I'll just throw 10 on it for the time. You feel what I'm saying? And she ruined that for people. And maybe it was necessary, because who knows how many more situations I could have been in like that if I had allowed that to continue to happen. You know, if that situation hadn't happened, I'm grateful that situation happened, to be honest, because I learned a lot from it. I learned that the closest people to you can be snakes. 2, I learned that that I have to be firm with my boundaries with my business, because this is money at the end of the day. It's not like I'm just playing around people's heads. No, this is a service that I provide. I literally have my business license. Like, let's be so for real. I can't keep letting people play with me, because at a point, it's now my fault. At a certain point, because it's just like, you are allowing these people to feel comfortable enough to disrespect you. And that's a dub. And that's why no shit like that has happened again. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to do anything extra. I didn't have to take her to court. If I did take her to court, I would have won. But I would have had to wait like a whole 2 months for $200. And anyone that actually gets money fraud would know that that's not worth it. I'll take that little, because it's not really a loss at the end of the day, because I got it back the next day. Why? Because people actually rock with me for real. Because why? Because I'm actually talented and I'm a hard worker for real. You can't take that from me. You might have been able to take that little time, that 7 hours of my long ass lifespan, but you can't take anything else from me. You couldn't take my reputation as hard as you tried. You can't take nothing from me, because everything that I have is mine and I earned it. God first. So it's like, that stuff really didn't faze me for real. It is what it is. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this whole face routine, because I've taken a lot of time to talk about this lame little girl. But I want to do story times too, because I don't want to just be so serious all the time. You know, I want us to have a little giggle, ha ha ha, every now and again. But yeah, y'all. But I do want to just go over a couple, financial literacy tips, because I'm not going to go too in depth today, because I'm going to build up a whole folder towards what I can talk about on that topic, because this is really important to me. This is stuff I had to learn on my own. You feel what I'm saying? It's not like my parents' fault, because I come from an immigrant family. I'm an immigrant myself. You feel what I'm saying? My little brother is actually first generation American. I wasn't born here. So, and even people that are born here, they still don't have the advantage that, most immigrants think that they would have, because the education system does not do us justice, especially not for black and brown folks or in black and brown neighborhoods. We are not taught, I was not taught about real financial literacy in high school, bro, to prepare me for the real world. And I graduated high school a year early. But, I was not taught that. Economics did an overview of, economics is probably the easiest class I've ever taken, bro, and that should say something. Not learning about money should be a hard situation, but I really didn't learn stuff in that class. And that's the thing, you shouldn't have to take these, the one classes where you actually learn stuff like that, or the AP, probably might be AP economics, but it's you have to also qualify for that, and that's not something that everyone qualifies for, but that is a very vital skill that everyone needs. And it's really unfortunate that here is the thing that we require the most, because we live in a capitalist economy. If you do not know how to understand and control cash flow, you're going to be stuck in the working system for the rest of your life. And that's not to say you have to be an entrepreneur, or you have to do this, that, and third. You can have a career, be financially literate, and be retired in your 30s. Because you were financially literate, you knew what to do with the money that you had, so that you didn't just go to waste. I believe there's this one, and y'all, another thing, because it ties in, I swear. I don't have ADHD, but it ties in. There's this TikToker I watched. He was talking about how he teaches his daughter her ABCs, but he puts a little twist on it to allow her to learn how to be financially literate. And this is a little girl, right? But he taught her ABCs: A as in asset, B as in bank, C as in credit, D as in debt, E as in equity, and so on and so on. That is what I want to see in our communities, because it's just we have to do that for ourselves. We have to teach ourselves so that we can teach our children, so we don't continue these generational cycles of poverty. And it's not our fault, but it is our responsibility to learn, because no one else has helped us. So why would you be waiting around expecting someone to come carry the torch for you, bro? You got to learn how to do that yourself. So it's at this point, You have to be taking the daily steps. It could be as simple, back to it, as your social media. Who are you following? What are you consuming on a day-to-day basis? If you just switch maybe a couple of the profiles, because I know me, I be on TikTok, I have to do media marketing, right? So I have to be on the socials knowing what's popping and stuff like that. I can be on that app like for a cool 4 hours. And if I'm just looking at BS, what am I really learning being on there? I could be making money in that 4 hours. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, it's cool to watch funny stuff and to keep yourself entertained, because that is quality of life. Like, you have to be able to keep yourself happy to actually be able to enjoy life. But in the same sense, like, you have to be mindful of what you're consuming. If just changing a couple of people that you follow can change your entire life. You can pick up life skills that you were never taught before simply because you're following people that know what they're talking about. You follow what I'm saying? And another thing with that is like, we need to be putting back into the black communities. That's the biggest thing. I believe I think it's Roots God on TikTok also. He was talking about how he was talking to this one Jewish guy, and he was saying like, he was talking about $1, and he was saying how our communities would never see that $1. And it wasn't like a racist thing, it was like literally because they keep their money in their communities. You don't see that money outside their communities because they're feeding it back into their own people so that they can become prosperous or they can maintain their prosperity. But it's literally, I think a study was shown, it says the black dollar leaves the community within 6 minutes, going towards people that aren't even putting that money back into us. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, like all these brand names, all these other stuff that aren't doing anything for us, to hold their items for what? That we can't take after we die? That someone could probably steal from us, and then we'd have, because it is a liability and not an asset, we couldn't really gain anything from that. We spend all our money on another thing, liabilities. We have to get to the point where we don't care about acquiring so many liabilities as opposed to assets to prove something, to prove that we're something that we're not. And it's like, who are you trying to prove this to? Instead of putting your money into places where your money can make money, okay, we end up putting our money into liabilities, things that aren't going to do anything for us but hang around on our side. That's why it's a liability. You're not profiting from that. It's not an asset like a home or something like that. Like, or even if you're going to get jewelry, get gold. Gold never depreciates. When people are buying diamonds, they're going to be worth like half the money that they pay for it in a year or two. Like, what is the purpose? And a lot of people, another thing is a lot of people be chasing that stuff not knowing it's all a whole big scam. These rappers and these artists that you're seeing getting these free, do you know how many rappers or any type of artists that I've seen talking on social media about how they're gifted things? Why do you think they're gifted things? Because they have that social media platform. You, the consumer that doesn't know any better, you're seeing that and you're trying to go after it. For what? They got it for free. And now you're about to go spend 5 to 20K on something that's not doing nothing for you because why, you saw on someone else? That don't make sense. They got it for free. Please, for free. I'm like, if y'all only knew the lifestyle some of these celebrities really be living in real life, y'all would not be breaking your back, your hard-earned money, putting into these things that don't do anything for you, these clothes. And it's like, I'm not trying to say like it's not good to spoil yourself, because spoil yourself, my love. But if you're not at the point where you can buy that 10 times over, what is it doing for you? You're having it to what? Have it? Instead of putting that maybe 5K into an investment fund. Getting insurance. Oh my gosh, I wish y'all knew about insurance, y'all. Rich people don't believe. Let me rephrase this. Rich people are in debt. And not in the way that you think. People, working class and below, think that debt is such a scary thing, but it's because we are indebted to the wrong things. Rich people get an insurance claim, right? Financially literate people would get an insurance claim. And you know why we get the insurance claim? Not just, for their loved ones when they die. No. They get that insurance claim because it's tax-free. So while you're putting your money in a bank that's using your money for them to profit off of, okay, because that's what the banks do, your checkings and savings account, that's what they're for. They're literally, English. The banks literally, the money that you let sit in it, they take your money out, they go invest it into some funds, profit, and then they take the profits and then put your money back. While as opposed to an insurance claim, you're borrowing your money tax-free. You can even borrow that money, invest it into something else, make more money off of it, and put it back tax-free. And not only are you putting it back tax-free, but as you let that money sit there, it acquires interest. So the interest is going and going. So your money is making money for you, and you can take it out whenever you want, tax-free. Tax-free. I cannot say that enough, young. Like, it's like these little things that can be so life-changing. We don't know because we weren't taught. And we don't know where to look for that information. So it's like, I really, really hope that this helps some people with that. Because this is stuff that I didn't know. You feel what I'm saying? This is information that I did not know. I had to learn this myself. And I'm grateful that I did, because I didn't realize how many people didn't know the same stuff that I didn't know. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, we are all trying. This is my little banana setting powder. I'm probably gonna do a little in-depth one another time, because the girl was just going on with that whole story, but it's okay, y'all. But yeah, this is stuff that a lot of people don't know. And you know why we don't know? Because it's so much easier to keep us in a certain economic disposition to allow us to be controlled when we don't know how to take control of our own lives. This is information that allows you to take control of your own life. That's obviously why it's not something that's so easily accessible, especially in public schools. In places where everyone can learn. And you know why? Because it keeps the lower class with the lower class, keeps the working class with the working class, and it keeps the rich richer. When we don't know what to do with our own money, girl, someone else does. I'm telling you. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna tap back with some more facts next week. I'm gonna brush this off real quick and apply a little blush. But yeah, y'all, I don't want to do too much because it is very late. I'll watch this all off and go to sleep. But look at this, and this isn't even my finished routine. But yeah, I'm about to put a little bit of contour or bronzer, and just to warm up the face. And see how I'm gonna put like a little, I would usually put like a little more pressed powder that's closer to my skin tone over there, because I don't wear foundation. But do you see how flawless this looks? Like, no lashes, just give it face, like. But yeah, y'all, we're gonna go over a little bit more right before I close. But yeah, y'all, we're gonna be talking all about this stuff. Don't fret. I know I only talked a little bit bit about it today, but next week I'm definitely gonna go more in tune with it, and I'm definitely gonna try and like, I'm sorry, this really eats so bad. This eats. Oh, this eats. But yeah, y'all, we really about to get into this. We're about to grow. We're about to make some money together, and we're about to get to the bag. For real, this year is all about getting to the bag, getting to your purpose, and letting the bag follow. Okay. But thank you so much for tuning in with me, and please let me know if any type of content you guys want me to see, because really, I could talk anywhere. I could talk at the grocery store. I could do like little grocery runs with y'all, or I could probably start doing some hauls and talk while I do the hauls. But I'm just trying to diversify this so it's more appealing for y'all. So even though you guys are hearing the gems that I'm spilling, I want it to be entertaining too, because that helps. I know that helps me, especially being neurodivergent. It helps me stay focused better so that I'm actually retaining the things that I'm listening to. It's not going one ear and out the other, But thank you so much for coming. Face is always a given, but we knew that. But I hope y'all have a blessed weekend. I'll see y'all next week.